This is the free motion quilting tutorial for Pebble Maze. This is stitched in a really interesting way. This is a foundational design, and the way you stitch it is you first kind of set a pathway of circular shapes. And I like to think of these kind of like you're building a garden wall. You're building a wall of pebbled circles, and then you're going to fill the inside of your rock wall with your garden. So that's kind of the analogy I like to use with this design, and that's really what I was thinking of whenever I was stitching it. So you want to keep your circular shapes really kind of irregular, because garden walls are fairly irregular, especially if you're using natural stone, and it looks better if it's nice and irregular. So I could easily have stitched this and set the whole foundation, but instead I set pieces of the foundation and then filled them one at a time. So in this situation, I'm working off the edge of the quilting space with an internal echo. So I'm just simply echoing those pebbled shapes, those circles, about 1/8 of an inch away from the first line of stitching. And I'm able to travel back and forth along the edge of my quilting space. This is important because that allows the echo, allows you the distance to move. On the other areas of this design, you don't have that space to move. You don't have anything to travel along. So here I'm stitching another set of pebbled border, kind of. And once I finish this section, I'll show you what to do whenever you have an internal area. So this area is totally closed off. There's no area to travel along. So instead, I'm stitching that internal echo, and then I'm going to go inside and create a spiral. And this is a spiral that doesn't have space to travel your way back out of. So you're just simply going to have to travel right on top of your previous line of stitching, building that thread up in order to get back out of the spiral. I did this because I didn't want this to have a traditional spiral look. I didn't want it to look like, hey, I just stitched a big spiral in the center of that. I wanted the thread to build up. I wanted it to have a little bit more density than the other areas of the design, and I like the effect that this gave it. You don't have to stitch it this way though. If you want to, you can stitch it as an open spiral, spiral your way in, give yourself enough space, and spiral your way back out without any traveling. It's completely up to you. And here's what it looks like when you finish this pebbled maze. For over 150 videos in free motion quilting, check out daystyledesigns.com.